September 11th, 2001 is another of those. You know exactly where you were on hearing the news times. I was at work and completely oblivious as to what was going on outside. It wasn't until my boss at the time arrived to help set up the hall for the rest of the children that I found out what had been going on. A plane had hit the World Trade Center. As I had friends in New York, I just thought it was a small private plane. I had no idea the full scale of what was happening in the USA. I remember the shocked look of the faces of the parents as they came to collect their children and couldn't wait to get home and see for myself what was going on. As I drove the short distance from work to home, the question furthermost in my mind was how a small plane could bring down two massive stainless steel buildings. I have never believed the narrative which was peddled at the time. Two passenger planes brought down two buildings. That just wasn't plausible to me, not when the buildings in questions were built to withstand the highest of winds. I saw with my own eyes two buildings falling freefall, collapsing on top of one another. Something did not add up then, and it does not add up now. And we haven't even gotten to Building 7 yet. I will come back to that later. As you know, I have always been interested in and studied journalism, therefore I was particularly interested in what witnesses had to say. Bombs went off in the building. Was what firefighters said on the day, seems to have been wiped from YouTube, least I couldn't find the footage. Some believe that both the Pentagon and the Twin Towers were nuked. I am yet to be convinced that be the case with the Twin Towers, but it is definitely a possibility in regard to the Pentagon, given there was absolutely no footage that a plane hit the building and considering the authorities is said to have confiscated all the CCTV footage from the surrounding area is suspicious to me. Although they did release grainy footage of something hitting the building several years later as pressure mounted. Getting back to Building 7, there is a video, or was a video of Larry Silverstein, the owner of the WTC complex, where he says he had a conversation with the New York Fire Department that went something like this. The fire chief rang me that he thought Building 7 was so badly damaged that it would be safer to pull it. And I replied because there had been so much loss of life on that day to go ahead and pull it. If my memory serves me correctly, Building 7 was said in a documentary to have fires on the 8th and 11th floor, and given that it had not been hit by a plane, I still to this day fail to see why it had to come down. Granted, it had been hit by debris, but why they had to pull it still remains a mystery unless there was something within they did not want people to get hold of. Pull it. Building 7, like the Twin Towers, came down freefall, speeding up as it went. In the documentary, which has subsequently disappeared from YouTube, like most things they don't want you to see, charges were seen to go off just before the building fell. Given it takes several weeks, even months to plan a controlled demolition, I am unconvinced that the charges were put into the building on the day. Not with chaos all around. Another narrative I have never quite believed was Flight 93. How people were able to get a signal on board an aircraft was beyond me. I am not saying it didn't happen, I simply cannot see it. I do believe some brave souls tried to take control of the plane and subsequently crashed near Indian Lake and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The narrative of 9/11 has more holes in it than Swiss cheese and has left us with more questions than answers. Why was the debris cleaned up and shipped off so quickly? The report into what happened seemed rushed. And it would seem they already had their fall guy all set to go, even as events were unfolding. So, what exactly happened on September 11th, 2001, and why did it happen?
Well, hello and welcome back to my channel with me, Karen Kate. Today's conspiracy is 9/11, right? Folks, this switches out. So, I've got the research done, and of my memory of the day, okay, and I want to, the cards are coming out already, the cards are coming out already, and I've not even finished the introduction yet. So, what exactly happened and why? What exactly happened on that day and why did it happen? Right. Who orchestrated it? Who orchestrated it? So who orchestrated 9/11? think we've all got our suspicions, but I'd just like to see. Right. I feel 9/11 came to get the US out of trouble. I feel as if the US was in trouble. I feel as if New York was in trouble, and I feel as if it was all to do with money in New York. I think they were trying to hide something in New York. They were trying to hide money. Had money gone amiss? Had money gone amiss in New York? Anyway, it was to shock the world. Well, shock the West. It was to shock the world though. The West and the world. That's what it was. Definitely something to do with I feel as if another country had a hand in this as well. Another country was all go for this too. Whatever this is, it was a great big success to whoever done this, whoever pulled it off. This had been planned for years. They'd been planning this for years. I feel as if they had a dummy run at it. They had a dummy run at it. I feel this was someone in the military. In the military. It was some big general. This is America. This big general pulled this off. Pulled it off in America. There were some people didn't want this to happen. There was very, very much resistance to it. So I feel as if they tried to do this before, and there was resistance to it, and they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. Okay, oops, hold on. Definitely, there was resistance to this. They wanted to do this earlier than 2001, and there was massive resistance to it. Definitely, there was a lot of money involved. There was a lot of... This was done for riches, to empower people, but it was done... Do you know, it was done... I'm getting, like, say, the country was bankrupt, and it needed... This is what I'm getting. People were bribed. There was a lot of bribing went on as well. We all know it wasn't an isolated incident, because there was three. There was obviously New York, the Pentagon, well that would be Washington, and that plane that came down. The plan nearly got out. Somebody nearly blabbed the plan. Somebody nearly blabbed it. Somebody nearly whistleblower. I feel as if it was a whistleblower, so I'm wondering if somebody was taken out before this happened, because I'm seeing the... And I feel this was somebody in the military that didn't want this to happen, and they were taken out. They were taken out. there was a lot of planning went into it, a lot of planning. Definitely, it was the military, three factions involved: military, government, and somebody else. Somebody in the background who's always in the background, who plans everything and stays in the background and lets everybody else do their dirty work. So that's who done it. You know, there's some people, see, as people who done this get to their kind of end of life, they're starting to feel not guilty but afraid. Well, they should be afraid. I'm sorry, they should be afraid if that's what they've done. Right, so right, somebody surrendered. Wow. They know, right? This person here knows everything that went on in 9/11. Everything that went on in 9/11. I feel as if, I mean, the word is coming out just now, but I feel as if there'll be a big information drop and people will get angry. Definitely. I'm seeing the ship has sailed, the ship of secrecy has sailed. The ship of secrecy has sailed, meaning the secrets are coming out. The secrets, well, what they say was a conspiracy, but the secrets that they've been sitting on in 9/11 are all going to come out. I think they're sweeping out just now. Yes, it's all about money. It was all to do with other countries' wealth that they were after, but I am getting that the country in question, well, no, the country in question was the USA, but I am getting the UK as well. I'm getting the two of them. I mean, there's no show without punch, right? And I feel as if there was the wealth. They want it all. They want it all, but I feel as if there was something going to come to light. There was definitely something going to come to light in New York, and they had to get something to take that away. It's to do with money, power, and land, and well, they've got their troops in there, but it's money to do with money, power. There's something else I'm not getting. Assets. They can't leave well alone. Definitely. The secrets are coming out. The secrets are coming out. Definitely. They won't be able to hide this. And the people that are going to get the most angry are, yes, those who passed away in 9/11, but see, the military, it's going to be the families of the military that were sent in after all that were sent in. They're the ones that are, you know, I would say that these two wanted out. The military, no. You know, because they were quite young men at the time, but I feel as if they've grown up and they've came to realise that they were just cannon fodder for these people. Yep. It's time to take action. I feel as if, you know, action will be taken against those who orchestrated this. Adjustments are required. Yes, adjustments are required. Do you know what I'm seeing as well? I'm seeing Flight 93. The Flight 93 is where the let's roll, let's get in there, But I feel as if, and I'm seeing it being shot down. They shot it down. That's what I'm being told. It was shot out the sky because of where it was headed. And I feel as if this, you know, the Let's Roll was partly okay, partly right, but they rolled with that story because it was a good story. They rolled with that. They rolled with it. But it was all about getting into other countries to get their wealth. That's what it's always been about. That's what it's always been about. So that they could justify, so they could be justified in what they were doing. Disgusting. They're disgusting. Military though, it was government, military and somebody in the shadows. Well, I think we can all know who the ones that are in the shadows are. And the media was embroiled in it as well. I want to ask, because right, so I want to see what hit the Pentagon, because it wasn't a plane. What hit the Pentagon? Right, so what hit the Pentagon? Right, someone was paid very, very handsomely. Yes, definitely. It was ordered. Military ordered the hitting of that themselves. Do you know, I'm just going to say what I get. It came from another world, it came from off-world, it came from off-world. That is the one that they're trying to keep secret. The Twin Towers and Building 7 and the other plane, they don't care about. They don't care. If that gets out, they don't care. But it's this. This is the secret. What the hell was in that Pentagon that they were trying to get away? It was a toss-up between two things that they were going to do. Neither of which was a plane, I'm hearing. Neither of which was a plane. It was something. Do you know, was it blown in the way? Was it blown out the way? I'm just getting it was off-world. It was off-world. Okay, so that's what I had got for that. And the plane was brought down. It was shot down out the sky because of where it was going. So, okay, so that's for 9/11. So, thanks very much for watching.